Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. I'm your host, Pablo Pereira. You know, it wasn't too long ago that they cut the red ribbon here on the new Performing Arts and Education Center here at Calabasas High School. It's certainly been a big hit with the students, the faculty, the parents, and yes, even the local community. But you know, to run a really good award-winning top music program, you need continued funding. And that's where recently a private entrepreneur stepped in and said, basically, what do you need? Well, they got what they needed, and of course it sets a really good example for the rest of us that giving back to our local students is not a bad idea. All right, Josh Barrow is the music director here at Calabasas High School. You got kind of a nice gift right before the holidays. Tell me about it.
We did. Well, these amps behind you here were donated by a gentleman named Alan, and we're super happy he was able to do this. Basically, we got contacted about 6 months ago, and he kind of called and said, I'd like to do something nice for the program and see what I can do to help out the arts. And we had just started looking into getting some new amps. We haven't got new amps in about 10 years. So it was perfect timing. We are ecstatic to have these things. They're top of the line, and we're just so excited to show them to our students and start getting in and using them.
So what are they for, and what was the problem with the old ones?
Well, mainly they're for our jazz bands. That's who'll use it the most, but we also have a guitar class now, and they'll use those as well from time to time, our combos. The old amps were just old. You know, eventually amps, and especially at a school, they get played on all day, every day. They wear out. They start to make funny noises and whizzes and purrs and bings. And so you go to perform and the guitar player turns on and all of a sudden you get that zzz sound. That's not the sound you want to start your band with. So these will be nice and quiet. And
I would imagine someone with a so-called music ear like yourself, that would probably drive you a little crazy.
It really does. It's very bothersome. So we're excited to get the new ones that'll, allow us to hear the subtlety in the music.
So a gift like this from somebody who really has no connection to the school is a little different than you're used to.
It's very rare. It was very out of the blue, and we're extremely thankful because you're exactly right. Usually these donations would come from a parent who knows someone or some sort of connection. This really was out of the blue, and we're so, extremely thankful that we lucked out and are getting this, generous donation.
So your pitch for future students coming in, why they should be part of your music program?
Well, we've got a lot to offer. I always say, if you like music, then we have a place for you. We're very all-inclusive. We have guitar class, orchestra, choir, band, and if you want to play, we have a place for you. And if you're serious about it, we have some really great upper-level groups for you as well. But really, our core philosophy is we just want to cultivate that love of music, and whether you're the best player in the world or you're just beginning, we want to try and find a place for you.
So you've always kind of been not only the music director here, but you've become somewhat of a fundraiser. You have parents that do that for you. 2013 going into 2014, music programs here, elsewhere in the community, reaching out a little bit statewide. What's happened to music programs? Is funding getting any better?
We're very lucky because we have such a supportive community. As many of you know, we have the new Performing Arts Center up in the front of the school that was funded, by our community, by a school bond. So that was voted on by the voters of our district. We are in much better shape than a lot of other places. It's sad what's going on in a lot of places with music, whereas these cuts have come down. The first thing they're getting rid of are these elective and arts programs that, I believe are so core and important towards any education. And education without the arts, to me, is nothing. You can't get a full education without the arts. The best line I heard from someone with regards to that was, you need to have English class. And you say, well, if you don't have the arts, what books are you going to read? The great authors were all artists. And if you're, you're not going to study grammar all of the time. You need to also read great literature, which is the arts. You're going to read Shakespeare. That's a play. You want to study music. It's all part of that education. So
we were talking a few minutes ago, one of the interesting things you said is you said that the music program here is supported as well as, if not better than, the athletic program. That in this day and age is a little not where it normally is, right?
Well, we're lucky to have a really supportive group of parents, and we're just blessed to have the support that we have, in the community.
So what else do you need? What else? What are the things on the horizon? What would it? I mean, you've got the facility now. You've got the rooms. I mean, where does it go from here?
It's the main thing that we have to pay for, believe it or not, is teaching personnel. Aside from myself and Aaron Cohen, who are our full-time music teachers, we pay for a lot of part-time people to come in and work with our students, jazz instructors, a percussion instructor, woodwinds, to work with the smaller groups. And Music Boosters pays, I think it's around $70,000 a year for teachers, for part-time teaching staff. So our biggest challenge is we have to hit that fundraising minimum, or we have to start cutting back the hours of our teaching staff. So we're sort of in a mode where we feel like we're constantly climbing uphill, because we start with every year and we have to raise such a high minimum that we're battling to get that.
So for you then, as you look forward into this program, then I mean, you get to brag once in a while, but I like to say you're like the Concord de La Salle of music programs in the state. I mean, people don't realize how good this music program is.
Thank you.
I mean, you look up here, there's plaques. I mean, they look like NCAA championships all over the place. Brag a little bit about your program.
Well, I mean, we have great kids, and they work really, really hard. And we've been lucky and blessed over the years to do a lot of really great things. Not just competitions, but just musical opportunities. Performing at the Playboy Jazz Festival at the Hollywood Bowl a couple of years is one that comes to mind that was recent. The first band that's not an LA Unified band to ever be invited, which we were it was an unbelievable experience to be sitting there on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, and that stage starts to turn and you look up and you're, oh my gosh, how did we get here? Those types of moments, and we're very, very lucky and blessed to have the students we have, the support that we have, and it's great. We've had a lot of great experiences.
And you still don't want to brag about all
Not
your
really,
work.
no.
Yeah.
But thank you.
All right, I'm here with Alan Semsar. You are the Chief Executive Officer for Barcelona Enterprises, located where?
We're in Woodland Hills, just like 1 block from Calabasas.
Okay, so we're in Calabasas High School. We're in the music center, the music building, music classroom, if you will. And you have done something nice and generous here. You've gone out and purchased new musical gear for the high school here. Why?
Well, you know something? I mean, everything my company does, we're always giving back to not only national organizations, but local. So every single project that we take on, we make sure that it has a community impact and a positive impact. So why not do something better for the community I spend most of my time in? Because I do my breakfast, lunch, and dinner here in Calabasas, most of it at the Commons anyway. So it was a great way to be able to give back. And when the mayor told me that the high school needed some stuff, and I said, whatever you guys need, let us know and we'll cut the check.
I mean, the music program, as you've probably done a little research at most schools, has been something that hasn't gotten the funding or maybe the support that some of the other, reading, writing, arithmetic, it seems like. Music programs seem to be suffering everywhere. Does that have any personal stories for you at all?
Well, no? I kind of grew up around music, and most of what we do is around entertainment, and I know the difference music makes for people. I know the impact it has on their mood. I think music makes a big significance on life and lifestyle and how kids grow up. Because when I went to high school, by the way, I went to Van Nuys High School, so I'm a local Angelino. But our music programs were big. And I know as funding got cut in California, most high schools pulled their art and music programs. Music is critical. So as soon as I heard this is going on, I said, hey, what do we got to do? We'll get in there and we'll help out. And
you didn't know much about the gear they needed, so how did that all transpire?
I didn't at all. I said, what do you guys need? Besides drums and drumsticks, I wouldn't know what else to get for you guys. So what happened is we approached Guitar Center, who was a local company, and I said, hey, listen, the high school needs some equipment. And we paired them up. We paired the music director, Josh and Aaron, at Calabasas High School up with Guitar Center. They did their magic. They came up with the instrument. They called us, and I said, hey, Alan, we need this much money. And we cut the check. We took care of it.
And what'd you get them?
Well, we got them all brand new amps. So they needed guitar amps, and they needed bass amps. From what I heard was last year, their equipment pretty much was dead, and they were just struggling to keep it going until the equipment came in. And we tried to get it as fast as we could.
So what type of example are you trying to set for other business entrepreneurs, parents, and stuff? I mean, is there a message behind this that you'd like to relay to people?
There is, you know, I think everybody focuses on money so much and how to make the money. And my philosophy is you make money with people instead of from them. So, and 80% of what my company does is we produce wine and food festivals for organizations. So whenever we do those things, why not have a local impact or a charitable impact? Better yet, when you're doing it in Calabasas, if the high school needs money, why not give it to the high school? And I think everyone's business should be based on that. And I know most executives or CEOs are always focusing on maximizing growth and maximizing revenue because that's what the shareholders need. But I think business climate has changed. I think our kids have changed. I think the kids that are coming into business now have changed. And they're looking for businesses and organizations that really make a difference and have an impact. This is the best way to give an example to people.
So to be clear, you don't have kids at this school,
Not
you've
at
had
all.
no ties to this school,
Nothing.
this is just something you said, I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I heard there was a need, we jumped in it. Just as, a couple of weeks ago, there was an anti-bully campaign in Los Angeles. We found that they needed support, we jumped in and we support them as well. But it's not a matter of having a tie to it, it's a matter of making a difference. And whether I make a difference here or in Las Vegas or New York, my company we just make a difference, whether it's for our clients or for the community. I think it should all be together because it is the community that feeds me and it feeds my family and it feeds the rest of the people. And we're all in one big circle.
All right, I'm here with Mayor Fred Gaines. Thanks for being with us today. I know you're a big supporter of the arts and music program. In fact, I was just walking in the new theater and I noticed on the prop room somebody's name was on it. That was...
Jill and I and our family, we made a donation when they built the new theater, and we're very, very proud of it. It's a great facility and something that's really supporting the arts in our high school and our whole community.
So when somebody steps in from outside and just contacts you or this, tell me how this went down.
Well, Alan Semstar, Barcelona Enterprises, they run a program called the Calabasas Food and Wine Festival every year. It's a private program. They do it over the Mercedes dealership, but Alan was looking for an appropriate connection to the community to make a donation of some of the proceeds. I said, Calabasas High School Music Program, incredible award-winning program, would love to have some help with some equipment that they need, and Alan stepped up and did that, and we're really, really happy about it.
And so how are you all clued into this? Because I know that the city takes an active role with the school district here, and there's some support based on, the city for the school district, but how does something like this just come about so easily, you think?
Well, people come to the city and say, hey, what can we do? And we try to point them in the right direction depending on what their activity is and what's appropriate and what the needs are in our community. So that's one thing that we do. But the city has also participated in the Performing Arts Center in terms of making a donation during the time that it was built, and we utilize the facility sometimes for city functions. In fact, coming up in January, we have our State of the City address. We're going to do it at the Performing Arts Center this year.
That's a good stage for you, right? You can't mess that up, right?
Well, it's a big stage, but it should be a lot of fun. And one of the reasons we want to do it there is to get people out to see this facility, because it's a really incredible facility here on our high school campus.
What would you urge other entrepreneurs, business owners, and folks? Maybe, the music program here is well supported. It has been. The funding maybe isn't as good as it needs to be. But when you see private entrepreneurs and business owners come in, what would your message to those folks be?
Well, unfortunately, funding for public education in California is still not where it should be. And the things that get left out are things like arts and music and sports and our media and some of the other programs that we've been able to put together here at Calabasas High School through private donations and through grants. But we're always looking for support, and any local business that can help with their local community in that way, they're going to have a tremendous effect, and there's going to be a lot of goodwill generated from that.
No, we're not talking tens of thousands of dollars here, but a $5,000 contribution, these things add up, don't they?
They do. The equipment for the music program is very expensive. The kids and the parents, the families are already coming out of pocket, for their participation in these activities. So to be able to put that kind of equipment here that'll last 5, 10, 15 years in the program is really something really important.
So you see all the kids kind of looking this stuff over. It looks like a early Christmas or belated Hanukkah, doesn't it? I mean, they're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and you can see they know much more about what it is than I do, but it's the kind of thing that without these kind of donations we wouldn't be able to have here at the high school.
So this is one of the fun aspects of your job as politician in the city, isn't it?
Absolutely one of the most fun. Anytime I get to come to the high school and be with the kids is a lot of fun, but to see business connect with the schools and do something like this, it's fantastic.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of City Spotlight. We hope you've enjoyed the program. More importantly, we hope you've learned a little bit more about the importance of giving back to students, not only for their present day activities, but their futures as well. Heck, all you got to do is write a check.